This is Replicant Fish. Welcome back. Glad you could join me again. Hope you're doing well, doing good. So I have an interesting story today, an interesting article about a couple in isolation. But the thing is, the man, the boyfriend, is spending more time with his friend than with his woman. And his woman feels, let's say, somewhat neglected because of this. And maybe she feels somewhat boring and as someone just used for sex, you know? See, the point of this one is that thing we know as men. Some of us, how even if we have or have had a woman, yet we wouldn't want to spend every waking minute, hour around or with this woman. Thus you have your friends you'd hang out with, drink some beers, play some sports, watch some sports, talk some crap, talk about women, talk about life, just hang out. Some maybe smoke some Mary Jane. The point is, how women become jealous of men when they hang out with their bros, their homies, their friends, whatever. The fact of how some women feel neglected because of this. And proves the point that sometimes as men, there's a reason to get away from your damned woman sometimes. Seriously, there's a reason to get away from her. No matter how much you care about her, my God, run. And don't go back. I'm joking. From 9.com.au, so I think it's from Australia. My boyfriend is spending more time with our neighbours than with me in isolation. By Tanya Mayer. Isolation has been pretty easy because I'm mostly looking after myself. But the one thing causing me a lot of pain is that my boyfriend Mitch is mostly isolating next door with our neighbours. Oh, that's sad. So here again we have another lonely woman, except her case is different because she actually has a man. He's just not paying her any attention. He always spends a lot of time with them anyway, but I find it annoying that at a time when we're supposed to be keeping our distance from friends, he's over there every day. My God, this woman must be boring. This woman must be so dry. Good God. I'd find reasons to ignore her myself. What does it say about our relationship? It makes me feel like he's avoiding me because he is. As though he'd rather be with our neighbours than be with me, because he would. You're more dry than a wood chipping factory, come on love. Our relationship has been tested many times, mostly when Mitch went through a stage of FIFO work, which means first in, first out. I'd only see him once every 3 weeks, and this put a big strain on our relationship. When we moved into our apartment, we became good friends with the neighbours, Mark and Felicity. When Felicity broke up with Mark, she quickly hooked up with a new man. Hey, Felicity's quick, isn't she? Yeah. From one man to the next. That's called momentum. Seriously. She quickly hooked up with a new man, Aaron, who became good mates with Mitch. And here's the stock photo used to display Mitch and Aaron hanging out. Obviously this is not them, but this is a normal scene of two men, friends, avoiding and ignoring their women, hanging out, talking crap, like men do. Here. Let's carry on. There'd be nights when I'd be cooking dinner while Mitch would be next door, drinking and chatting with Aaron. I'd text him to say dinner was ready, and he'd reply, I've eaten already. It would make me furious. Well, maybe Felicity can cook better than you can. Your cooking's probably awful, that's why. No, I'm joking. No, that's too much. I'm sure she's a lovely cook. Yeah? Yes, on one hand, it's great he's made a good friend, but it's also very frustrating for me, especially during a pandemic. A friend of mine asked how isolation was going, and I told her I found it quite lonely, even though she has a man. This is very sad. This may be the saddest of the articles I've read recently. She asked, how can you be lonely? You've got Mitch. I had to explain he spends most of his time next door, ignoring me. Oh my God. Typical man ignoring his boring girlfriend. Or wife. Yeah, let's not forget the boring wives. To hang out with his pals. You know, historically, men have hung out with their friends for a long time before going home to their woman. Because some know when you go home to your woman, you may go home to nagging. So the later you go home, hopefully the more tired she will be. Or the more drunk you will be. Either way, makes things easier. Seriously. Don't quote me, don't quote me. At first, I was worried he was attracted to Felicity. Maybe he tasted her cooking and realized she has skills in the kitchen and maybe the bedroom. No, that's wrong, that's wrong. I asked him if he was, and he laughed at me. Ha ha. I was paranoid for a while, thinking they were flirting with each other, but I now realize it's just his friendship with Aaron. I'd say he goes there 5 nights out of 7. And here we have the supplied picture of a woman sitting in front of, looks like some baking, something, I'm not sure, just sad by herself while Mitch is laughing it up with Aaron. Hey, good times, good times. Of course he comes home to sleep. Listen to this men, because this is awful. This shows how bad some of us are as men. Of course he comes home to sleep, and that's when he pays me plenty of attention because he wants sex almost every night. Oh my god, typical man. Typical man has a woman he wants to sleep with. Oh my god, what a monster. Doesn't care about her feelings. The fact that she's been ignored and left alone for hours and days. The reason I find this so funny is because, admittedly, I've done this before. Obviously, you're hanging out with friends, but obviously later on, when everyone's going home, you're going to go and see your woman, aren't you? It's normal, it's natural. Bust and move, or bust and fall asleep, you know. Classic. Let's carry on. If I don't put out, he gets cross with me the next day, or I get the silent treatment. He's a spoiled brat most of the time. If he doesn't get his way with me, he sulks for hours. Why do women act as if they don't get any enjoyment from the sex as well? When clearly and obviously, yes, they do. But they act as if they have to do this. Oh my god, I have to sleep with my boyfriend. Come on, really? My god, that's not even appealing. What man would date a woman who thinks it's strenuous to sleep with you? What's the point in being with her? Once you finish drinking, you want to go and bang your woman. Yeah. I know he complains about me to Aaron, because if I'm ever invited over there, I'll often hear things said between the two of them, like, here she goes again. I also heard him say, see, I told you. I flipping told you she's crazy. She's nuts. You can see the monster in her eyes. Help me, bro, help me. That is sad. My god. See, I told you, as he motioned towards me. He must think I'm an idiot. Now come on men, being single is freeing, but if you do have a woman, you should never think she's an idiot, even if she is. Let's carry on. I'm trying not to let it get to me, but once this pandemic is over, I really have to think about our relationship. Does it make me happy? Does anything make a woman happy? Does anything... Let me stop, let me stress myself out, let me stop. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with Mitch? He probably wouldn't care. He may realize he's single when he needs sex, because that's all he uses you for, but I'm joking. Oh god. That's wrong. I'm not sure what the answer is, but I know I need to think long and hard about whether I want a future with him. Wow, that's so sad. It brought a tear to my eye, but it was a tear of laughter, you know. This is flipping hilarious. But you see men, that is my point. Now, not saying he's right for spending that much time ignoring his woman, but I understand, because there is no way I could have a woman walking around my fortress of solitude, knowing she's there for more reasons than for the fact I'm just sleeping with her and then she's going to leave. No. Knowing she's there all the time, that would make me not want to be there. So I understand avoiding your woman, obviously having her there so you can bust and move on your woman, you know? But then you want to escape from her, run and flee from your woman. You see, my point of view is to completely run and flee. To not have to worry about dealing with her and her problems and her issues. And whether I'm hanging out for too long, whether I'm talking crap with friends for too long, doesn't matter. When you're the master of your own domain, you know there is no woman there ready to nag you when you get home, drunk, or maybe high. 'Tis the beauty of your own space. 'Tis the freedom of your own space. 'Tis also the health, your mental and physical health. I wonder how many men ended up drinking more than they should simply to avoid going home to their woman. And for the fact that men do this and have done this for history knows how long, it's very telling. 'Tis very telling. In other words, focus on yourself. Enjoy the life, the one you build for yourself, without a nagging woman crying that you're not paying her any attention. Oh God, I think I am going to hell. But in other words, focus, observe, remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.